Welcome everybody to the Pirate Skills Meetup, this time about the growth tool stack. This is one where I want us to think about what you guys need to set yourself up for scale. In short, I want to show you how to find your own personal growth stack by showing you the categories in which I've set up in most of my projects, my own tool stack, and how you can find just the right one for you. If you head over to pirateskills.com/tools, you can download everything and enter this beautiful Miro board and copy it to yourself, to your own board for free. So what's the plan? I want to make sure that you understand why tools are needed sometimes for scale. Even though skills are definitely more important, but if you have tools that are standing in the way of you and just putting out that next test, that next landing page, that next email campaign, the new ad creative, or you have to keep on waiting for people to get it done for you, then you're just standing in your own way. And this is where tools really come in helpful. And of course, we have to be skilled. We need tools for content creation, landing pages, your CRM, analytics, all of the good juice. And then we'll figure out a way how to find the right one for you based on where you currently are in your business model and where you want to go. You guys know me, I'm Ben. I'm a founder since 2008 myself. I'm a growth marketer at heart, which means I love nerdy marketing, very data-driven and experimental approaches to marketing. And tools very much help me to do this every single day. So let's just dive in and look at the board. If you go over there to pirateskills.com/tools, you will sign up. If you don't have already a membership at Pirate Skills, it's completely free. Join us, join the community. And this is where you can then see this beautiful board. If you don't know Miro is like a whiteboard on steroids. Yeah, you can scroll it as far as you like and zoom in as deeply as you want. But what you can do once you land on this board, and we try to explain it here in the top left, if you click on this title, you will see this nice button called duplicate. And this turns it completely into your board. If you do not have a free Miro account, feel free to sign up for one. First, it's free of charge, and then you can duplicate the board to make it completely your own thing. I just want to give you an awesome template to work on. If you prefer to download it as a PDF, you can just click on this little image here, and then you will be able to download it as a PDF if you press this little download button. And if you want your own templates for those little app widgets, I put a Canva template here for you to copy as well. So what do we have here? Let's take a big look at what this is and what this is and what this is not. Just find the right zoom level. Here we go. So first thing that you see is several categories into which I grouped my tools that I'm using. A growth tool stack for me has the job to help the customer go smoothly through the complete customer journey, from being aware of your product to visiting your website, to joining your mailing list, being a part of your CRM, being closed, being tracked through analytics, tools to help you manage that process, and tools to magically keep everything together through automation. You could come up with more categories for you. I was considering, do I want to put all of the traffic channels, for example, as tools in there as well? But I decided against that. I wanted to really focus on the ones that I'm using every single day, and all of the traffic stuff we talked about in one of the last meetups called the Traffic Channel Compass. So if you are more interested into how do I drive paid and organic traffic, head over to pirateskills.com/compass. Now let's go through each of those 6 categories and see why I chose the tools that I've signed up here, and what job they are doing, and where you can find proper alternatives for your scenario. I want to just underline, these are my choices. Yeah, I wanted to give you an opinionated stack, not a neutral stack. I didn't want end up like the Martech 5000, where you have this big poster with, it's beautiful, but it just has over 7,500 different tools on it. I don't think that's very helpful. I wanted to create a very opinionated stack that really suits most people that I'm working with here at Pirate Skills. So let's dig in. What do we have here? So content marketing and storytelling. Yeah, this is where we need a couple of tools to create content. And we got a couple of jobs here. We got Adobe Creative Cloud, we got Grammarly and Canva. Now, what do they do for me? Adobe Creative Cloud is a subscription service that gives you access to all of their photo, video editing, audio editing, website building suite. We use it mostly for developing really engaging designs. If you want to create your logo, you might not want to do this on Canva, but maybe in Illustrator, so you get the best format that is imaginable, and you can work with all kinds of different suits within the Adobe world, and for example, put that Illustrator logo into your video, into your Photoshop images, wherever you like. It works seamlessly together, but it has one disadvantage. It has a pretty high learning curve, and it's not a place where except you're an absolute pro, where you can really produce a lot of content really fast. This is why we essentially create the core assets like the logos, the primary icons that we use in Adobe. And then we use Canva, a tool where you can create a lot of social media images really quick with a lot of templates. And we just import the assets from Adobe to Canva and work with them there. Let me show you how this really works for us. Let's go to our Canva account, and let's see that I'm in the correct Canva account. There we go. You can see here that we, for example, have for our square covers that we use for our free journeys, we got a template here, and we just can copy one of those templates, change the text, change the icons. There are so many icons already here in Canva that we even moved away from like icon libraries like Font Awesome to the way better icon libraries that we find here in Canva. And it also solved the problem of the question of, am I allowed to use this? Yes, you have licenses within limits, but for all the social media advertising use, they are absolutely free to use. And here you can see that we have such an easy time to just change the text here. We don't have to ask a designer. We can say, no, this is ABC test, your blueprint. We can exchange that icon against something else. If I search something here in the Elements library for like experiment, then I get to use different icons. I can even get to use animated icons, as you see here. And this is how Canva really makes our life for producing social media content, for producing assets for our website that change frequently, is absolutely marvelous. Yeah? And only for the high-end stuff and for video editing, we use Adobe Creative Cloud. Then we have Grammarly as the third item here on the list. And I always think most of content creation is image, video, audio, or text. Yeah, so we got images and a bit of animated video is Canva. All of it, high-end, is Adobe Creative Cloud, but everything but text. And text is where Grammarly shines. Grammarly is a tool that has a wonderful language autocorrect, but even teaching you how to write more clear, more effective, more correct at the same time. So if you are doing a lot of writing in English, then Grammarly is highly recommended. So how did I come to find those tools? I use platforms like G2 that help me to find software like that. And this is why I put under every section a recommended link to a fitting section on g2.com. Let me show you how this looks like. For example, if you don't like Canva or Adobe Creative Cloud, you're looking for other photo editing software that are in the small to medium enterprise market. So you can switch like small business tools, mid-market and enterprise tools. And most of us here are in the small to mid-size market. So let's look into that segment. And you will see a list of tools ranked by G2 score or by popularity. You will see that there are thousands of reviews about those tools. So Photoshop would be appropriate, Lightroom, the Photos app from Apple. Here you go. Here's Canva. And here is GIMP, for example. If you are totally into free and open source, GIMP is a wonderful tool to edit your photos with, even on especially on Linux. Yeah, then we have the people who love Affinity Photo, all that good stuff. Yeah, but you can also look around other categories here that you might prefer to dig into. Or if you want more video editing software, yeah, there are people who completely hate Adobe Creative Cloud. Yeah, don't worry about it. Use whatever you like. Here we go. We have a Premiere Pro, we got Canva, we got Camtasia, Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark is really wonderful if you want to create like animated social media images. I prefer how Canva does it, but Adobe Spark has filters and automatic magic that goes way beyond what Canva can do at the moment. Yeah, it's best on the iOS device. So this is how I want you to treat this. Like, use this as a very opinionated suggestion. Yeah, and I have good reasons why I gravitated to those tools, but feel free to use whatever you like to use. Yeah. Now, once we have the content that we need for all of the organic social media, for our lead magnets, for advertising, then we move to our website tools. Having a website that is clunky to work with is the bane of the marketer's existence. If you can't build a landing page in less than a day, then you have some wrong tooling. Yeah, and do not accept any compromises. It's so easy to. There's so many great landing page building tools out there, and for me, I choose WordPress because it's not just landing pages. You can build your central website hub, the go-to place for your audience. You can build that in WordPress. And there are huge sites out there, from news sites, magazines, community sites that are built on WordPress. Until I have reached that limit, nobody is allowed to tell me that WordPress is like not meant for such big audiences. Yeah, and here at Pirate Skills, we are a small but very powerful audience. So WordPress is perfect for me. And I boosted WordPress with WooCommerce. So I have a complete e-commerce experience in there as well. And I use another plugin called LearnDash that is used for all of you to access all of the past video recordings and slides and tools that we have recorded in the past couple of years. It's like an e-learning environment within the WordPress site, and it can be paid and free. Most of the top stuff at pirateskills.com, like this growth tool stack, is for free. And this is empowered by LearnDash. So you have a more structured learning environment than maybe just the YouTube video feed. And the job that I have WordPress for is, first of all, have this central website to create great landing pages that convert, to generate leads, to sell products, to have a content hub. Yeah, and to give you an example of landing pages that we build, like one of my favorite landing pages is our workshops landing page on pirateskills.com. We built this on a Friday afternoon. Of course, we updated that over time and we improved it. And but this site loads in under 1 second. Yeah, if you send this website through gmetrics.com, it loads super fast. Everything here has SVG support. It's mobile friendly. It's high converting. It does everything I wanted to do. Yeah, this is why I cherish that. Good alternatives are, for me, specific landing page builders that you like to use, for example, like an Unbounce, an Instapage, or if you really want zero technical hassle, check out something like Wix or Squarespace. If you are more technically inclined, then look at something like Webflow to create good, fast performing, but also pretty sophisticated websites. And again, here you can find dozens of different content management systems on g2.com. Let me show you. Yeah, here, a good example, HubSpot. If you choose to go for an all-in-one solution that pretty much does most of the things that we just looked at here, that does the website, the CRM, the analytics, the management, the automation, then the tool of choice might be HubSpot for you. Yeah, it's the best all-in-one solution. It's definitely not the best of breed solution. Best of breed means to me the best email tool, the best landing page tool, the best analytics tool. It's not, but as a package, as a complete package, it's highly recommended from my end. Here's WordPress, Phantom, Duda, and there is a lot to discover here. Here's the mentioned Webflow, and there are a lot of tools out there. So feel free to compare them. You can, for example, say, yeah, what's the difference between WordPress and Webflow and HubSpot? Yeah, and then you can see, oh yeah, let me kick out Sendinblue and MailChimp, and now I get the comparison here, and I get to hear from thousands of people who had an opinion on this. Yeah? And I can scroll down, I can see how many reviews we had for each of the tools, which gives you an indication of its popularity, not of its quality. And here I chose which market segment I preferred, yeah, to be classified as. And only 50% of people in the small business area use HubSpot, yeah, compared to 75 who use Webflow and WordPress. So this might be an indicator that I'm not such a good fit for HubSpot, because I consider myself more a small business and the pricing might be targeted more towards the higher end. Yeah, and they have a very enticing 12-year entry-level plan, but it gets pretty steep afterwards. Yeah, the whole suite starts at 600 and above. And what I really like about a platform like G2, and there are others, is that you see ratings based on real users, and you see how many responses there were in there. Of course, things can be faked, but with so many reviews, we have to give it some level of credence. And you can see where are the tools the best and where are they at their worst in terms of like ratings, features, design, the platform in general. And this might show you some very strict no-goes, yeah, where you don't want to accept a tool, or where you don't want to make any compromises. So I think G2 is wonderful for that. So this is the website. Yeah, now I can create good content, good assets, and I can put them on a beautiful website that has the job to convert users to leads, to sales, to students. Yeah, great thing. Now, once they have signed up for you in any way, you should be thinking about using a CRM. Yeah, let me just switch back and forth. Here, I don't feel like the zoom level is correct. There we go. You need a CRM at the center of your tool stack. In many cases, especially in mine, like the CRM and the email tool are one. Like HubSpot, it's the same. ActiveCampaign is the same. MailChimp you can abuse as a CRM. I saw that question. Maybe we can discuss that later. But many times they come together, but they don't have to come together. There are other CRMs that do not specialize on email, and you might choose to have something else. For example, you have a Pipedrive as a CRM and use a MailChimp as your email tool. Now, what I use ActiveCampaign for is to have one central point of truth about what my customer state is. Are they a customer? Are they a lead? What have they done before? Which emails have they received? Are we already talking to each other? Have they gotten an invoice? What's the state of that? And I want to see all of the user activities across all tools, if possible, in ActiveCampaign. I also publish my newsletter through that, and I craft my email automations. So if you, for example, sign up for the Pirate Skills newsletter, you will not only hear from us twice a month about the past and upcoming events, but you will also get to know all of the best stuff that we have built in the past, and things like Discord and YouTube over time. in automated email sequences. And I choose ActiveCampaign also because it's an excellent sales tool. It has the pipelines that I need to see how engaged people are in a type of sales process. Like, are they very active? Should I be talking to them? Are they ready to have a demo call? Did I send an invoice, etc. And this is what ActiveCampaign does excellent for me at a very, very affordable price. It's a bit more expensive than MailChimp, but way less expensive than HubSpot. Perfect for me. So you could be choosing here other tools. Like, I think this is the most central choice you need to make. Be absolutely picky about the CRM and email solution that you want to go into. So let's check them out here at G2. Let's again go for the small business market, yeah, as a preference, because the enterprise tools, they don't even have prices. They have nothing in that regard. HubSpot is again at the top, then ActiveCampaign, Salesforce CRM. This is of course also very known in the upper market, yeah, in the high end. But I've used Salesforce as a single freelancer in the past, and I paid like $30 per month for it at this time. Of course, prices have changed, but they are still pretty surprisingly affordable. I still would prefer ActiveCampaign over it because it's way lighter and easier to use in my experience. But there are so many great CRMs that have come out in the past, like Freshworks, like Monday.com, and Pipedrive. I think Pipedrive is my absolute favorite standalone sales-oriented CRM. This is only for B2B, in my opinion. For B2C, you want something more like, like a MailChimp, like a Klaviyo in the e-commerce scenario. They're very, very good CRMs out there. And you also want to make sure that they are compliant with your data privacy regulations within your company. This is the place where you are going to have the most customer data. There's no place where there is more privacy sensitive data than your CRM. So make sure you are set up in a way that you know that you can even have in 6 months when rules might be changing. So you can check out the best automation software tools, the email marketing tools, and then pick one central piece of your stack, which is your CRM. Now let's move on. Analytics. Of course, you guys know this is one of my favorites, and I had to be really picky. What do I actually want to put on here? So what I chose was, as the most universal piece of analytics software, Google Analytics. I think they have proven to be reliable across web and app analytics tracking, to give us user behavior insights that we wouldn't have otherwise. To manage all of my tracking stacks and events, I use Google Tag Manager. Tag Manager is like the spider in the middle of the web that receives and sends all of the user activity that I'm interested in, like people signing up for my LearnDash, for my lead magnets, for events. All of that is gathered in Google Tag Manager and then being sent to tools like Google Analytics, but also to the pixels of the advertising platforms that I'm using. That is the Facebook pixel, that is Google Ads, that might be Pinterest and TikTok, yeah, or LinkedIn ads. Another thing that I put into the analytics section from the same stack is Google Optimize. And Google Optimize allows me to create better customer experiences. I can show 50% of the people one version of the website, while I show the other 50% another version of the same website. And Google Optimize manages, first of all, creating those differences and then sending 50% here and 50% there. So that is my A/B testing tool of choice. And I like that this is such a coherent stack of tools. Yes, I have Google Tag Manager at the center. My basic analytics is web, Google Analytics, and then I have Google Optimize for A/B testing. So those are my most important analytics pieces. And when you are looking for an analytics tool, make sure that you can track user behavior, that you can track conversions, that you can manage that. The most privacy-friendly alternative to that I know that I've installed on my website as well is Matomo. Matomo is, let me show you, an analytics tool that you can host on your own servers. So for privacy reasons, that's a good thing, but you can also host it on the cloud. For WordPress user, there's a free plugin that you use, and then it's hosted inside your WordPress environment, and you don't have to worry about anything else. One of the most amazing features of Matomo is the possibility to do cookieless tracking. Cookieless tracking has one main advantage. As far as I understand, and as they say, and they are one of the most privacy-focused tools out there, is that we can use it if it's set up correctly without any consent from the user, because there is no personal identifiable information attached to it. So be careful with that, but I have it running in the background even without consent. Really putting myself out here probably, but everybody who can look at web analytics will see that anyways. I can use it as a source of truth for how many people does Matomo see, or how many page views does Matomo see compared to Google Analytics. So I have one thing without consent, and I believe I'm allowed to do it this way. And there's Google Analytics that is only allowed with consent. And for example, I see 1,000 people in Matomo and I only see 600 people on Google Analytics, then I know, oh yeah, I have a 60% opt-in rate. About consent, this is the last piece of the analytics funnel. You want to have something that people easily understand, that is in the middle of their face, that they can opt into. I prefer the cookie consent by Ball Labs Cookie. Very good, but WordPress only. Yeah, you might want to look for alternatives here in the different consent management solutions on G2. And also here, they can be pretty pricey. So you probably only can look at the small business scenario, but I have not used any of these. Yeah, so I usually work with that in the WordPress realm, or I use Cookiebot, but none of them are as satisfactory as my Ball Labs Cookie banner. So that is analytics. Let's move over. For me, the growth stack is not complete if I don't have a tool to manage what I'm doing and the communication with my team and a way to visualize. So what I use to manage the work is to use Asana. Asana is my favorite project management tool. I'm not married to it, but it's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah. It helps me to keep track of all the experiments that I'm running, of the work that my team is doing, that I'm personally doing, that I'm doing with my projects. And it just keeps sanity around. Yeah, it's very handy if you want to work with remote people, because you can see what are they doing. You can manage meetings with that tool much more effectively. And I just want one central place. I think you should at least have something like a Miro or a Trello board where people can see the currently highest priority experiments that are meant to be set up and that are currently running and what the results were. Yeah, we use Asana for that. And then we use Miro for boards like this and to visualize the processes. Sometimes you just need to have a place where you can see, oh yeah, this is my funnel. Here is the Facebook ad that goes to this landing page. Then people sign up, they watch this video, then they land on the email list, they get these number of emails, then they go to the next webinar, and then they go through the sales process. It's very hard to put that in a list in Asana, for example. Not fun. But visualizing that on a Miro board like this, and having a big board where you can, for example, use this growth tool stack that really makes clear what tools do I need to work with, and am I set up here correctly, and am I happy with that? I could, for example, say, I hate WordPress and WooCommerce. I want to completely switch to Shopify, and then I could set this up here and see the consequences and the processes that I would need to change immediately. So Miro helps me to visualize processes, to get the big picture, and to have a board where I can work collaboratively with the team together. For example, when we do funnel bashing, where we look at one of our funnels and we want to see like how can we improve it. Then we bash it. We say everything that we don't like about it, and then we follow it up with constructive ideas of how to solve those problems that we saw in the funnel. That's what Miro is perfect for. And then we have Discord. Discord is something like Slack, but a bit more from the gamer community. You have probably seen it here. We have this Slack community open where people can chat with each other and we can stay in touch beyond the live streams. And I also use the same tool to communicate with my team, to talk about business updates, finance, marketing updates, new leads coming in, all that stuff. And by the way, leads coming in, this would be one of the important conversions in the customer life cycle that I want to keep a close eye on. I want to see how many people join in which of the free journeys that we provide. What events are they signing up for? How many tickets we have already sold? These are notifications that are being sent automatically through the tool Zapier or Integromat to Discord. So something is happening, for example, tracked through Google Analytics on the website, here on LearnDash, or something is happening in the CRM, and I get a notification in Discord that tells me, oh yeah, you look at this, you might need to act, and I get a much better feel of like the pulse of my business. So this is why I like this. So for management, it's for me project management, not event tracking, but experiment tracking, getting the big picture and collaborating, and then communicating. That is definitely part of my core growth tool stack. Last but not least, automation. Here, this is the last piece of this funnel. I don't know. So automation, why do we need this? There are so many things these days that you can automate that it's just amazing. You can use any tool you like, and then you can use magical tools like Integromat and Zapier to connect the data between those tools. So let me show you Integromat, because I think most of you are familiar with Zapier, which is a US-based tool, and you're not familiar with Integromat. And I see that most of the people who are into no-code and automating things tend to mature from Zapier to Integromat. And it's super weird. First of all, it's EU-based. It's still pretty user-friendly. And the pricing is just weird. Like, you get 10 times as many operations here for half the price, and it's faster. It's a weird value proposition. I've seen that there are some features that are only available in Zapier, and this is why I keep both tools around. But I do anything, first of all, in Integromat. But let me show you what it is and what it does. So what you can do, for example, if somebody shows up in a Google spreadsheet, even if you put it in manually and you can put it through automations, then send them an email. Or what we like to use, if somebody signs up for one of the events, we send them a welcome email and we put them in the CRM, and they get pushed out on Discord and all of the different systems. You can just stick together all of the tools that you can imagine without having to write any code for it. And it's highly efficient. And when you see that, oh yeah, this is a core business process, then you can ask a developer to build it for you custom. But I hardly ever see the case in the dimensions that I'm working in. So take a look at the magic of something like Zapier and Integromat. I use it to transfer data. I send my conversion notifications that I use it to enrich user data. I update user information if something happens in my CRM. This is how I keep everything centralized in ActiveCampaign. And there are so many things that, so many ways to use those kinds of tools. So that is the growth tool stack. And I would like to invite you just to think about what is your current tool stack and what is holding you back in that stack. Are you really happy with the way you can build websites, or are you annoyed every time you do it? If you are annoyed, then you will not likely build many landing pages and funnels for your users, which is really sad. Or do you always have to wait super long until you get new creatives and designs for your ads or for your lead magnets? Just ask people to make professional templates, like maybe in something like Adobe, just import them to Canva and work from there. You do not need to be a professional designer these days to create good looking content. There are so many templates in tools like Canva, it's just unfair these days. But still, if you have a professional designer around, use that asset, of course, and make the best out of that. Okay, that's the growth tool stack in a nutshell. Again, you can just get over here and duplicate this for you and make it completely your own. As you see, I've put those little things on here. If you want to build your own, I have put a little Canva template up here where you can just import. You can open that, and it is a Canva template that you can just use in your own account. If you press use template, then you have this template for you, and you can just change the text, change the image. If you want to show this to some friends, you can also download this as a PDF, but do your own thing with this. Yeah, just copy the Miro board and make it completely your own. And if you have done it, please share it with us in our Discord. I would be absolutely amazed to see your growth tool stacks. And if you want feedback on them, I will definitely give that. All right, that's the growth tool stack. Again, you can grab it at pirateskills.com/tools. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I see you in many of the upcoming meetups. That leads us to the Q&A. In the Q&A, we try to answer your specific questions. So if you scan the QR code that you see up here with your phone, or just go over to pirateskills.com/questions, then you can start asking questions. Let me see if we already have some questions in here. Still got only 3 questions, so feel free to just join and add your questions about your tool stack, about eventual tools that you like, about data privacy, about combining tools, about automation. Just go for it. Yeah, I would really love to see what you think about it. Then let's dig into this. So let's go for the first question here. Which tools are you recommending for advanced users? I don't think you should make such a big difference between like advanced users and beginners. Most of the tools should be easy to learn and hard to master. For example, Canva can be used by beginners, but also scale up infinitely to very advanced designers. But of course, there are differences. For example, with the website, if you do not feel like you want to have anything to do with the tech behind websites, then WordPress is already a hard sell. Yeah, WordPress is like kind of in between super easy to use and developer. The really easy to use things are like Wix and Squarespace. But if you're an advanced user, you can build up tools like WordPress and Webflow into whatever you can possibly imagine. So those tools are highly appropriate for advanced users. In terms of A/B testing, I would definitely go for Google Optimize. Even though there are several solutions out there for analytics, you can go as deep as you like with Google Analytics, that as well. So I guess I wouldn't make too much of a difference there between you being like an advanced user and maybe being a beginner there, because most of them, they're just easy to learn, but still hard to master. Now, yeah, I saw this one before. Can I use MailChimp as my CRM? MailChimp can be abused as a CRM. I have done this for years, I think. And they have actually even become better at being a CRM than they were like 5 years ago. Now they clearly differentiate between your contacts and your email subscribers. So they have started to really have the CRM mindset. There's absolutely zero sales dimension involved. So if you need any kinds of sales, then I would not recommend MailChimp, but upgrade it with Pipedrive. So MailChimp plus Pipedrive is a beautiful thing in combination as a sales CRM and email marketing tool. For e-commerce, you can use it as a CRM if you don't want to use Klaviyo. Klaviyo is the, in my opinion, best in class email e-commerce CRM that you can only dream to have. But if for some reason you are MailChimp, the integration with with good big stores like Shopify are excellent, or with WooCommerce. But if you are anything like BigCommerce or Magento, you don't want to have that connection with MailChimp. Maybe with a lot of Integromat connections, but not otherwise. So you can use it, but MailChimp is being stretched as a CRM. For B2C, no problem. But for B2B, I would just upgrade to ActiveCampaign, as I did. So what are other tools, other sources to find good tools? So I showed you g2.com. Yeah, I guess this has become my favorite tool, but a place where I love to discover new products that are small but awesome is Product Hunt. Yeah, they used to be more popular, but let's see. I'm always surprised what new tools I find there that I've never ever heard about. For example, like TypeDream. What is it? Let's get it. Type and publish your dream site. So this is a new no-code website builder that seems to be pretty. Yeah. Dream with us. See, this is a website building tool that I've never heard before. That just looks amazing. Yeah, and Product Hunt has this way of just digging up tools that are just fresh in the market that nobody has seen before. They are just amazing. So if you look here in the product sections, you can look under topics. And for example, for us, we are of course interested in marketing or growth hacking tools. And then you see only the most upvoted growth hacking tools. Yeah, and for example, official Instagram direct message automation, supercharge your link in the bio. This sounds interesting. Yeah, I need a new link in the bio, and I'm annoyed by Linktree. I want something more amazing. Yeah, and there you see, there is a new tool in town that you might take a look at that is just way cooler. Look at this. There's a video running in the background and like crazy. Of course, it has to fit your social needs, but this looks wildly more interesting than a normal Linktree thing. Yeah, so this is what I use to discover tools. Yeah, Product Hunt G2. All right, then let's check off that question. Hi Ben, what process or tools would you use to upsell in your sales funnel? How do you create the funnel so that the upsell is added to checkout? So for me, it would be a tool like Cartflow. Yeah, Cartflows. You have to make it work with your current e-commerce solution. Yeah, there are big tools out there like ClickFunnels that are meant to do it, but they are very clunky, slow loading. Just can't recommend them really properly. Yeah, so you have to see what kind of website are you using. If you're working with WordPress and WooCommerce, I would look at something like Cartflows, and they are like a sales funnel builder with one-click order bumps, one-click upsells for the WordPress environment. But if you're on Shopify, look into the Shopify App Store and check it out there. And if you don't have any kind of e-commerce, you don't have to have anything there. You can just have order forms. Then it's just a matter of a landing page sequence that you can use. All right. So is there a magic tool to recover Facebook ads after the iOS update? Oh yeah, I wish I had built that tool. Yes, there are a couple of magic tools. The first tool that comes to mind is the Facebook Conversion API. So one of the big hits that we suffered during the iOS update is that not as much conversion data is being sent to our ad campaigns. That gave Facebook the signals that our campaigns are sucking and that we should pay way more than we did before to get the similar results, which sucks, of course. So what you need to do is to make sure that your tracking setup is as good as possible. So if you haven't heard about the Facebook Conversion API and you're familiar with tools like Integromat and Zapier, yeah, I can recommend a video to you from the guy who has built Pixel Your Site. Pixel Your Site is one of the best WordPress tools for Facebook tracking, and anything from him about the Facebook Conversion API was way ahead of its time. Check it out, how he sets it up. There are also many recommendations of how to set up the Facebook Conversion API very easily with a tool like Zapier or Integromat. And we don't need any coding experience to get the Facebook Conversion API running. But what it does for you is it doesn't wait for the user to consent to any kinds of actions. It sends the purchase event from the server to the server. Yeah. And of course, you have to do this all within the reason of like user consent and everything, but it's not affected by the iOS 14.5 update. Yeah, so this is the magic tool that I would recommend in that area. All right, these are all questions for tonight. Thank you guys for joining the Growth Tool Stack meetup. I hope we see each other and keep on learning the whole growth marketing skill set. If you like to really dig deep, then just join our workshop. Check them out at pirateskits.com/workshops, where we take full days to just go as deep as possible in topics like building your proper growth strategy, building your content publishing calendar, building funnels, driving traffic, analyzing your setup. And all the free stuff is on pirateskits.com/YouTube. If you got anything out of this, do me a favor, leave a little sub and a like and a comment over there. That's it for tonight. Hope to see you the next time. Bye-bye.